Gets the Boot was released February 10th, 1940 by the Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer. Well, I've never said those words out loud. So this is an animated short, and it was the first short in what would be the Tom and Jerry series. It was directed by William Hanna and Joseph Barbera and produced by Rudolf Ising. More on that later.
Nevertheless, I wanted to do cat and mouse because, number one, the minute you see a cat and mouse on the screen, you know there's conflict. And you got chase. And people were saying, oh, all those dumb ideas. I mean, where's the purple giraffe, and the pink hippopotamus?
Though the studio executives were unimpressed, the audiences really fucking loved this short, and it was nominated for an Academy Award. But it lost to a short about 3 kittens who lost their mittens and were forced to go to bed without milk. F's in the chat. So in 1937, Joseph Barbera began to work for the Ising animation unit at MGM, which was the biggest studio in Hollywood for kind of cartoons like that. And while he was there, he learned that the co-owner of the studio was looking for original cartoons. And while there, he met William Hanna, who was also at the studio, and he pitched new ideas to him, one being, quote, equal characters who were always in conflict with each other. They quickly became besties. They talked about their ideas to another producer there called Fred Quimby. He was the then head of the short film department who let them do 1 short. And well, the rest is history.
In the meantime, Quimby, in his wisdom, said, don't make any more of them. You don't want to put all your eggs in one basket. They used to lecture like that.
Whole aftermath, MGM did receive a letter asking whether more cat and mouse shorts would be produced.
And then a letter came from Texas from one of the big distributors called Bessa Short. Ooh, hey fellas, let's make some more cat and mouse cartoons.
Before we get too deep into it, I do want to introduce our characters today because it's not Tom and Jerry, it's Jasper and Jinx. But more on that as we get introduced to them. And they were like, shit, it must be a hit. So there was a studio contest to rename both the characters. And it was won by an animator named John Carr. He suggested Tom and Jerry after the popular Christmas cocktail at the time. He won 25 bucks. What a guy. So Silly Symphonies, they are Joseph Barbera's favorite cartoons and what he drew the most of for these guys. Now with this short, William Hanna and Joseph, where they directed it on their own. This is basically their child, even though just the first short has the Rudolf Ising gets the credit because it was made under his unit at the studio. So the cast for this short, 2 people, Harry Lang, and there's Lillian Randolph that plays Mammy Two Shoes, who we'll get into. William Hanna and Joseph Barbera. They all the iconic voice lines for both characters, so shout out a legend. The music is by Scott Bradley, who basically he wanted to make music for movies, but it was deemed too funny. And he got secured here instead, so thank God. But other than that, more as we go throughout the short, so let us begin. All right, open card, trademark MGM. Pretty self-explanatory there. Ars gratia artis. Did you know that means the art for the sake of art? It's kind of a nice motto. So next card, we got the MGM cartoon in Technicolor. Ooh, wow. And at the bottom, it's incredibly hard to read, but copyright MCMXL Roman for 1940 by Lowe's Incorporated, powered by Lowe's Incorporated. They're just a powerful parent company of MGM, serving as like distribution, having its theater chain control mostly. On the other side of the little card, we got all rights in this motion picture reserved under international copyright passed by the National Board of Review. Yeah, that doesn't exist basically. Next, of course, the Rudolf Ising production. Again, Hanna-Barbera really directed it. The studios were harsh back then. You gotta realize this. And then this guy owned the studio. And finally, Jesus, these cards are long. Puss Gets the Boot. God, look at that kick. Didn't know Jinx's feet were that big. So we're starting off with Jinx, not Jerry, trying to run from Jasper.
I remember the sketches as I made them as I sit here. I remember the first sketch was a close-up of a mouse running like crazy, full speed, eyes squinting, his tail is off scene. And then you move the camera back and the cat is laying there with his finger on his tail.
Now these first animations of them are made by this guy named Pete Burness. He drew Jasper's hair like really very beardedly, and he got a little lock under his chin. By the way, this is the only time we do see Tom drawn like this. He deadass looks like an old geezer. Another animator, Bob Allen, is the guy who did their first designs and their most ugly ones, to be honest. He was one of the top guys at the studio. Basically, a whole bunch of guys came over from New York to Tinseltown, and they made it big. And since this is also the first short, I do think a few of the gags do linger on a little bit, like kind of like this opening chase scene. Though while thinking about it, I feel like at the time this must have been all new to see and like beyond hilarious to everybody. Eventually, you know, Jasper hits him with the old mouse hole paint gag. It's kind of funny because I like that Jerry doesn't learn, just keeps running into the wall like 5 times. Knocks himself out. His lips are sending me. He wakes his ass up because he's not done with the torture just yet. The whole hanging from the eyelid and the poke is like early signs of the Hanna-Barbera signature that we see later on. You'll also notice Jasper is on all 4s here. They slowly kind of stray away from that a few episodes later down, just so they can have him kind of move faster when he's chasing, and most of his cat features. But this chase ends up getting him running into a pillar, and uh-oh, we got her. Jasper! Since the first episode, Lillian Randolph is the voice of Mammy, Two Shoes, fucking with Jasper.
Just a minute, you good for nothing cheap fur coat.
It's honestly, of the times, she was a really nice lady though. She does call him Jasper a lot.
Just look at that mess you made. Now understand this, Jasper. If you break one more thing.
And even though while I was little, I always did think of her as the owner of the house and very wealthy, honestly, when you think about it. Though the maid outfit does not help. But after the beating, the chase continues as always though. Jerry now knows, I guess Jinx now knows Jasper's weakness, and that's loud noises. I think he's really animated like a real cat here. It's kind of scary. This is another one of those scenes that I think drags on a little too long with the whole glass threatening. Jinx is adorable to watch keep his balance. And now with Jinx, what they kind of had him do a lot in the beginning is to have him wink at the camera a lot. And not necessarily for like a fourth wall moment, but to make him more appealing to the audience in favor over the feline. But anyway, back to the short, he tosses that shit anyway. And the way he gets his attention with his little noodly arms. I'm gonna slow this down here because look at this beautiful triple take from Jasper here. Honestly, I am loving George Gordon's facial expressions. They are top notch here. Now, when Jerry is shaking his ass and they're kind of walking away, there's that little tune in the back, and that tune is Tom's original tune. It was later used a ton in later episodes before changing his theme, and then Jinx's theme is 3 Blind Mice. Which with that, you know, last minute tunes, again, later it was changed. It's also interesting to look at Tom's face in this because every animator did draw him different. So his expressions change every so often. But Tom does come up with a beautiful idea to place pillows on the ground to break the glass fall. And while watching it, I did notice a single frame here where Jerry, it disappears. He's just not there. He's not in the shot and then the next frame, he's back. He just vanishes in the rift of Hanna-Barbera time waves, and then eventually does come back unharmed. Dude, I'm sorry, I can't stop gushing about the expressions here, but he's just a queen, isn't he? So Jinx gives us another wink into the camera, and then he throws that glass. It's falling for quite a long time, isn't it, huh? Still going. Ah, there we are. There it is. Look at the rendering on that glass, though. So basically, he's running away because he messed up, and just look at the little shaky lines above his head. Those are primarily a comic book thing, but I guess they carried it over for this. I don't know. It's mostly used to make them look nervous. It just looks kind of weird in animation form. While he's begging for his life, Jerry does speak here, but it's very mumblish.
And also, I found out that with a cat and mouse, you really didn't have to speak because that was chase all the time. gags and chase.
It's also strange to think that they did speak in the very first episode. After his escape, you know, he does the whole "I'm gonna break all the fancy glasses" gag, which is used a lot in a ton of episodes, and not just for any reason, but except for that Joseph Barbera was a giant fan of the antique plate pushes for whatever reason. And you'll notice that he does it a lot in a lot of the shorts he directed. Exhausted breath and his sweatingness, it's so good. And again, this pan-up render of the watercolor plates, again, just it looks so good. It's very old Disney inspired. And I guarantee you, Barbera must have seen the 3 Orphan Kitties Disney short, which I ranked in my 250 cats ranking, by the way. Because those kitties were definitely used as inspiration for the 3 puppies and like in the series. It's gotta be. I refuse to not believe this. But of course, he's trying to get the attention of Mammy Two Shoes, and he does. I also love this look of pure defeat on his face. Nothing to say, unable to move. Yet another scene that drags here is this taunting until basically Mammy gets down the stairs, which, by the way, she's taking a while to get down those stairs. During that meantime, he tosses some milk, uses his tail towel. She's still not here yet. And just to stretch this short out a little longer, let's kick his ass also. And it's also small details like this I like. A very electric shattering moment here. They added a dissolve transition, cutting the Jinx running, which I did not like it. That's a very strange transition they did there. Maybe to show a passage of time. But basically, now she's arrived for the beating, and she's causing her to storm down and promptly beat the shit out of Jasper. It took her almost a minute. And guys, the same one who started the short is the same one that animated the ending. She beats him up off camera, drags his house outside for, I guess, another beating. I can only assume it's funny, because I feel like they could have showed him getting his cattail tossed, but they didn't, maybe to save money. Save on money, it's gotta be. Jinx brings that sign back home sweet home, marches his booty to the beat of the music, and that's Puss Gets the Boot, the first Jasper and Jinx cartoon. It ends with the... Oh, not made in the Hollywood USA card yet. Interesting. What to say? I did find this short to be wildly different from the rest of the series, mostly because Tom here has so much confidence and pizzazz compared to the later versions of him where Jerry will literally drop an anchor on his head while he's sleeping.
And the way we did that is we recorded the music first, and then we would get the timing from the tape of each little note, and then I would time all of that action onto the sheets that the artist would draw.
They are considered here more animal-like and honestly beautifully drawn. I've always loved the backdrops of like the older Tom and Jerry shorts so much. It reminds me of, again, the watercolor Disney films. And while this short, it does run just a little over 9 minutes, it is the longest Tom and Jerry short. And moving forward, we get a few seconds shorter each time until we got to that magic 7-minute mark. But I mean, damn, this thing almost didn't get made. But thank God for Fred Quimby. That's basically why he's always gets his own title cards in the shorts, is my assumption. Also, did you know they're originally gonna be a dog and a fox? Those merry melodies, I'll tell you what. But to end it off, the iconic pair would again to continue work on Tom and Jerry for like the next 15 years of their career and many, many more bangers. I think that's everything, guys. Thank you for joining me. Join me next time where I cover something else random. Thank you.
And I'm ashamed to say this, Joe and I, we would only work maybe 2 hours in the morning, then we would maybe work 2 hours in the afternoon, and we actually we'd throw thumbtacks at the wall, and we played an awful lot.